Eastpointe City Council on Wednesday, January the 3rd. Please rise for the invocation given by Councilwoman Sarah Lucido. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, we thank you for the many gifts you have given us. Please help us to all use our talents and treasures we possess to benefit our community. Let us come together to find solutions that benefit the residents of Eastpointe. Help us to work together towards the same goals, even if we travel down different paths. It is in your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's why I couldn't hold my hands together.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Present.
Councilmember Lucido.
Here.
Councilmember Kleinfeld.
Here.
Councilmember Owens.
Here.
Mayor Pixley.
Here. Our first item is to approve the agenda. Does anyone want anything else added?
Sure, Madam Mayor, just for the closed session, we'll just need to add, we have the attorney-client privilege communication with USA v. Eastpointe, just add also Taylor v. Eastpointe.
Okay.
I will second.
We have support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Councilmember Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Councilmember Owens.
Yes.
Mayor Pixley.
Yes. Move to the hearing of the public. Does anyone wish to be heard at this time? Albert.
Are they all the same?
Yes.
Okay.
I can pass them down. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Harry Sala. I own Albert's Furniture. I was here 2 weeks ago with my attorney, and we were hoping to get an opinion as to the parking problem. Hard to see, but you see where I marked it north, and you see that little small south? That south lot is about 20 spaces directly behind my store. Mr. Mariucci has informed me that we're going to try a temporary solution to the problem. I just want you to know that I wouldn't be here to waste your time, but that parking is really a problem, and I have lost business and revenue, and I'm not looking for anything back from that other than just a solution to this problem. The north lot is a big lot where the post office people can work and park. They can park there, and it shouldn't be no problem for them. Now, I also was informed that they complained about thievery and assaults, and that's why they want to park directly behind my store. But I was also informed there has never been a police report of any such matter. So again, I'm asking you to please free up that lot. It's only about 20 spaces. It's the right thing to do, without a doubt. You have the public library, you have Albert's Furniture, Aaron's Rentals, and the post office. Them small 20 spaces should be for customer parking only. They serve all 4 locations for customers. And I don't want to take up much of your time, but it is the right thing to do. And it is for the betterment of the businesses. And that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone else wish to be heard at this time? Anyone else? Seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. Let's move on to approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of December the 5th, 2017. We have a motion.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 5th, 2017.
We have support.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Councilmember Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Owens.
Yes.
Mayor Pixley.
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Second item is the special meeting of December the 19th, 2017. Do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I motion to approve the special meeting minutes of December 19th, 2017.
Support?
Moved and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Mayor Pixley,
Yes.
Councilmember Kleinfeld.
Yes.
On the second one is the regular meeting of December the 19th. Do we have a motion to accept those?
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 19th, 2017.
Support.
Moved and support. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Mayor Pixley,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Kleinfeld.
Yes.
We have no scheduled hearings, no unfinished business. We'll move on to reports from administration. We'll start with our city manager, Mr. Marucci.
A couple, excuse me, a couple items, Madam Mayor and members of council. Brought that, my reminder. A couple items to report on. The first one is that the joint meeting with the school board and the city council is set for Monday, January 29th at 7 o'clock here. I'm assuming we'll use the same format. The school superintendent, his assistant, Linda, and I will be meeting with them to come up with an agenda. If any of you have any items that you'd like to be placed on the agenda, please get them with me. That way we can make sure that we don't forget them and we put them on there as should be done. The second item is that City Hall will be closed on January 15th all day, which is a Monday. I think it's 12 days from now with respect to Martin Luther King holiday. And then the third item, I just want to verify, with respect to the capital improvements workshop, the one date that we're looking at, and you'll have a motion in a few minutes to deal with, is February 13th. It's an off Tuesday. And our intention is to have Mr. Pangori and probably Mr. Malone from Partners in Architecture here. So just to give you some thought, that's the date that we were looking at administratively. We're open, obviously, to any other changes with that. It appears to be good for the professionals involved, and it gives us enough time to plan. In fact, we have a planning meeting administratively this Monday, I believe it is. So you'll make a decision in a short period of time. So, and that's all I have. Oh, one other item, with Mr. Albert, who's here, and even though I know that's not his name, but it's easy to remember because it's on the front of the store, is the deputy police chief and I have talked about the possibility of a temporary traffic control order, which is good for 90 days, and we should be able to make a decision quickly. But I also contacted Michigan Department of Transportation before Christmas to find out if they knew why the no parking on Gratiot Avenue was there. So I haven't heard back from them, and I'll give them a call this week to find out. But, over the phone, he didn't know why. And I've driven, I've not seen any other restriction.
I think it's because of the turnaround.
And I agree, except I've not noticed that across from any other turnaround. And that's why it's sort of weird. It's like there's businesses all up and down. The width of the street is the same up and down. So he's going to look at that because it's a strange thing on the state trunk line. Who has the authority to put up traffic control signs? It's their road, and from what I've read of the Michigan Vehicle Code, we can put them up, but they need to bless it. So I just wonder at some point in time if we put them up or if we asked MDOT to put them up. But either way, I surely am not going to take them down without their approval since it's their road. But we're looking into that, and that may free up 5 or 6 spots, would you say, in front of your store? Because you can only park, 1 or 2 cars from Athlon Court north. Yeah.
So I did have a question about the city parking lot on Moak. That doesn't have, is there a backdoor entrance to the post office for that?
No, and that's something that he and I just spoke about that. I think we can make a backdoor entrance. This isn't the time of year for it because my recollection is there's a curb there. So we'd have to somehow put in a handicap ramp and then cut a hole in the fence.
On Mo.
Right, the parking lot on Moak Street, the one behind.
Because the problem, as people have told me, is the fact that the clerks come in at 4:30 in the morning. And so they're a little bit reluctant in the middle of the winter to walk from the back of the north lot over to the post office. They go in the door right in the loading dock.
Yep, in a loading
there.
dock.
So if this could be designated for those early morning arrivals, and there was an entrance directly into the into the post office, I think that would resolve some of the issues with those early morning clerks.
I agree, and maybe that's one where, because there's gonna be some minor cost, I'll say 1,000 or 2,000, cutting away the curb, putting in at least a sidewalk with a gate or just an opening.
Where are you, sorry, Madam Mayor, where are you talking?
Off of
So,
Moak Avenue.
Off of Moak?
You see where it says Happy Garden Restaurant and it says city? Well, there's a real estate company there. It used to be a doctor's office, and next to that is Happy Garden, and then there was an attorney's office there.
Just north of the Fifth Street, the bank.
But when they did the DDA, they bought 2 houses, and they tore those houses down to create that little parking lot that's right there. But at the one end, it doesn't have an entrance into the
Go
post
across,
office.
yeah.
So if you could isolate an entrance into that post office, or have it with a fob key or something that only the post office employees could get into it,
Right, then they could park there.
then that might resolve some of that issue.
That's an approximate 20-car lot that is extremely well-lit.
It is.
But, yeah, Mr. Albert mentioned, and I think you, now that you said that, my recollection, I couldn't recall, was not good on who told me, but I had the deputy police chief run the records for, I think it was the last year and a half. Not one,
It wasn't within the last year and a half.
okay, not one reported car theft, not one
No, it
reported
was-
assault.
It was long before that.
Okay.
That's not going to guarantee that they're not going to stop parking there. That's the only thing,
I agree.
you know, so I just don't want to spend money on something that's not going to be used. But, I mean, we can see how.
Short of a restriction in terms of time, there's no way to force people to use the Moak Street lot or any other.
But if, it depends on what the post office, we've never been into the post office over here, but it depends on what's in the post office on this particular wall.
Yeah.
I mean, and that is the old part of the post office, or the newer part. So, you know, it might be just something really simple. I think that gets into, the loading dock is right there, so I would think it was the back end of the loading dock, so.
I believe it is, but it's it's the one, like I said, come springtime,
But it would
we
be.
can look at.
You know, that would be the thing for the postmaster to work with you to come up with some solution.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Marucci, did you want to just explore these options and then let us know if we need to pass a resolution?
I am,
or
because,
ordinance or-
exactly. I mean, the deputy police chief, if we put up a temporary traffic controller, has the authority to do it for 90 days. At 90 days, it must come down, or the council must sustain that it go into permanent effect until it's taken down by more council action. So we have authority administratively to act.
Okay.
Because one thing I was gonna say, have you talked to the library about these spots too? Because I know like when I've gone there, like these are always full. Is it because of the post office, then I'm assuming?
These right here are being used by handicapped people because of the access that you have.
Yeah, there's those are 3 spots next to the building in essence, I think, aren't they?
And there's 3 spots on this side right
Okay.
here, but I think there's 3 spots right there as well. But they also have access to these spots right here. I
Exactly.
mean, these all say library people, but they're never completely filled with library staff.
Not even close. And the same way with the other side.
So I
Yeah,
think
back
it's,
here, yeah.
Yes.
it's something that really needs to be looked at.
In fact, we've talked about taking the signs down that say employee parking only, because there's never a crowd there.
I think you should still designate spaces for the library employees, but I don't think it means all of them. And you might look back at the lease, because it's been a long time. Randy, when did we last do that lease for the post office?
I think that was when Darwin was here, wasn't it?
I think it was when Darwin was here, and I don't remember in council that we ever signed that lease.
Yes, it was approved.
Was it?
We do have an approved lease, and I believe
But
it was
it's
for
It's gotta be
10
old.
years, something plus. It was a long-term lease.
But there, as I remember, the first one before that is specified where they were supposed to be parking.
Well, it specified where their trucks had to be parked, not
Right.
their personal vehicles. And it's their personal vehicles that's the issue.
Okay.
It's not, they're parking their delivery vehicles where they're supposed to.
All right. So you might want to also look at that lease, because it's got it.
We will.
I just had just one quick comment. I appreciate the agenda, Joe and Linda. It's, the bills are much easier to read, and things don't look like they, were scanned and then put together, so it looks very, very nice. That's all.
Right, and our finance director is not here tonight, but he was at work today for the first time.
Yes,
So,
in a good month.
and he's still not driving on his own. He has to have somebody else drive with him, but he will be back.
Yeah, he will return. He's working all this week with a driver, and then hopefully we'll have his restrictions lifted for next week.
So we'll move on to our city attorney, Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. Ms. Van Haren contacted me last week and is requesting show cause hearings for the upcoming month or so. There are 12 total. The addresses include 14717 Topher, 16326 Topher, 15661 Glander, 21934 Linwood, 24321 Latham, 24544 Dale, 22172 Lambrick, 22810 Beechwood, 17145 Stricker, 21929 Beechwood, 15678 Ash, and 18780 10 Mile. I talked to Mary about that, and the council could either, I don't know as if doing 12 of them before one council meeting would be convenient for anybody, because sometimes one of these meetings might take a little longer. But to maybe split them up 6 before the next council meeting and perhaps 6 before the council meeting thereafter, or to do all of them on one night on a special meeting. So whatever the council would like to do.
6.
Yeah, 6.
6 and 6? Fine with me either way.
Okay, and they're in no particular order. I'll just take the first 6 that I just read off, and then the other 6 would be for the meeting in February,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
beginning at 6 p.m.
Correct.
Does, between now and our December, or January 16th meeting, is that enough enough time for the legal notice? Okay,
It's enough, yep.
okay. And
I'll get the notices out this,
I know you will, I just,
and have them posted also at the respective properties.
okay.
Yep. And Madam Mayor, the only other thing I had is the council's in receipt of our firm's monthly status report. Unfortunately, it is a little bit longer than the month before that, but I'm happy to answer any questions that any of the council members may have.
Anyone?
Nope.
No, I reviewed all those pages. Thank you for, highlighting each activity. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And that's all I had, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to new business. Only 2 items under new business tonight. One is to schedule the draft for the capital improvement plan presentation with AEW and Partners. The date was suggested on February the 13th, and the time at 7 p.m. Is that okay with everyone?
I can't do the 13th, but if I'm not here, I can watch the meeting, so I'm not worried about it.
I mean, that's an important meeting. If I'm happy to just find a day.
Yeah.
Other than that, if it's,
I just chose it because it was the off Tuesday.
How about the
The day
following?
before?
How about the following week?
The following week, we'd have a meeting, that'd be the 20th, but I could do the one after, the following Tuesday after that, the
Which is?
27th.
Okay.
I could do a different day of that
I'm
week
not-
of February.
I'm not going to be here the 27th. No.
Yeah, does that the 12th
It is a 12th work?
then?
I can do the 12th.
Let's see. And there's no, or is there a school board meeting that day? Oh,
Is there a school board meeting, Randy?
let's see. Yeah. Let's see, yeah, the 12th would be a school board meeting, actually.
If the meeting is our
Actually,
next council meeting is the 20th, or it's February 20th, is the council meeting date, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Is the
I could do the 19th.
19th work?
I could also do the 14th, the Wednesday after the 13th.
How about the 14th?
14th, yeah.
I can do the 14th.
Is,
Oh, Valentine's Day.
will the meeting start at 6?
It will start whatever time you want it to start.
Is
We-
that a SMDA day?
I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Let's do it the 14th. SMDA is only till 6 anyway, so.
Do you want to start at 6? Is that your preference?
It doesn't matter to me.
Just-
Yeah,
So if you can just make that in the
You want
mo,
to do 6, Suzanne, or you want to do
No, 6 is fine.
6?
just make that as part of the motion. then.
so, do we want to do a motion now, or we could wait till the next meeting if you need to check with the,
You know, that's a good point. That's an excellent point, because they were set for, you know, the other date,
Yeah,
so.
and since there's time, we could just do it at the next meeting.
I think that's a good idea. I will check with them on that.
Or should we just motion? If it's fine with them, we'll do that date.
We could make.
So then we don't have to worry about it.
Make a motion and then change it if we have to.
Either way is the same thing.
Okay.
Only in the sense of, you'll either have to undo something you did, or you haven't acted, and you will act at the next meeting. So I'm comfortable with how council wants to proceed on it. But you're right, I do need to check with both professionals to make sure that they can attend.
Well,
Okay, I'll make a motion then, and then we'll
Okay.
fix it if we have to.
Right, fix it if we have to.
I'll motion to schedule a draft CIP presentation with Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick, and Partners in Architecture for February 14th at 6 PM.
Support.
Move to support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Mayor Pixley.
Yes. Our next item is the city manager candidate selection. And we've all had these big bad books and gone through them. And it was their original idea to come up with 5 candidates, and schedule the interviews of those 5 candidates.
Just remember, say numbers, not names.
Yeah.
At this.
How do we, I don't remember how this would have done last time.
Should we just write them down, give them to Mr. Marucci, and he can just,
Linda, do you recall?
I think what we did last time was to write them down on a piece of paper and give them to somebody. We could give them to Rich,
or sure.
and then.
We
he
put them
could-
in our order of what we like the best.
Right. Or
Well, I think at this point, that doesn't
just
necessarily
give him
matter.
the names.
Is it,
He'll eventually say them, just so that whoever goes last can't like change it and then he can announce everyone's picks, and then whatever the top, this person got that many, right? This person got that many. If there's a tie, then we'd have to talk
Okay.
about breaking a tie.
I would just like to, rather than showing a preference of who you like best and not, just the name similarity and then go for.
Yeah, they're all equal now.
At this point, doesn't
saying,
mean
right?
anything other than
Yeah.
a list of 5.
Sarah, do you want to share some of that paper you have?
Yeah, sure.
I have a piece of my own. I could've got a piece.
Just
Thank you.
write your name on it too, just so Rich knows whose is whose.
Let me collect.
Sure.
Thank you. Thanks.
none of the ones I wrote down requested confidentiality? We could talk about them.
It's kind of weird selection process.
Yeah.
Do we have a chimney to burn white smoke?
I didn't even look.
We'll get a chimney in there, a temporary one.
Oh. Can you,
Who was this?
That's either the mayor or Sarah's.
can you
We're
put the
doing
numbers next to them?
not names.
Oh, I just wrote numbers.
Okay, I just saw the piece of paper, that's why.
Yeah, we just need numbers right now, right? Just read
Right.
the numbers.
Here you go.
Well, that's all right, I got it.
Okay.
We don't even know if all these people are still available.
Right.
Right. So have backups in mind.
Right.
Our attorney's not here, Mr.
Oh, he's supposed to have backups anyway, though. At least,
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Oh, did he?
That's what I suggested.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah, he was here. I think he went into the.
Okay, into the conference room? I didn't realize that.
Put my name on it.
Because I'm like, I gotta call him.
That's why you have to be here. It's not very common they're here early.
Yeah, I didn't see him. Come in.
Madam Mayor, should, just have Mr. Albright just read each person's numbers off?
No, why doesn't he just draw a similarity between all the numbers?
Okay.
If he can write down the
I'll-
numbers,
I
then.
do,
I was going to read the numbers, and then Linda is going to make that comparison, I believe.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Mayor Pixley's selections include the following: number 3, number 20, number 21, number 23, and number 24. Councilperson Kleinfeld's selection includes numbers 5, 23, 20, 24, and 19. Councilperson DeMonico's selections include number 3, 8, 20, 25, and 26. Councilperson Lucido's numbers include the following: number 20, 5, 23, 1, and 3. And Councilperson Owens' numbers include the following: 20, 27, 2, 5, and 24.
It seemed there were enough similarities that we can narrow it down to ones that got,
Yeah, I think so.
Are we having one person tally right now? Is Linda?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Linda's
Linda is.
Okay.
Quick glance, I don't believe we have a tie either in the top 5.
Things, I said, just wait till the hearing of the public.
Well, we got 3 out of 5, so that should.
Madam Mayor,
yes.
is everyone ready for Linda to read the?
Okay, Linda.
I didn't write them down, but I think that's right.
Number 2 had 1 vote. Number 3 had 3 votes. Number 5 had 3 votes. Number 19 had 1 vote. Number 21 had 1 vote. 23 had 1 vote. 24 had 3 votes. 25 had 1 vote. 26 had 1 vote. 27 had 1 vote. 8 had 1 vote, and 20 had 5 votes.
Wait, you said 23 had 1 vote?
Yep, that's all I have.
No,
No, it's 3 votes.
I got 3 votes.
I got 3 votes.
Yeah.
One for the mayor, one for Michael, and one
Yeah,
for
21 has 3 votes.
you.
No, 23.
23? Yeah.
The 2 of you and the mayor.
You want to read them again, please?
2 had 1, 3 had 3, 5 had 3, 8 had 1, 19 had 1, 20 had 5, 23 had 3, 24 had 3, 25 had 1, 26 had 1, 27 had 1, and 21 had 1.
So I think that's 3, 5, 20, 23, and 24 are
Yeah,
the top
your
5.
That's the top 5.
Read those again, Cardi?
Number 3, number 5, number 20, number 23, and number 24.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So do you want to talk about the individuals, or do you just want to go ahead and?
No, I don't think we can, at least one of them is confidential, so I
Correct.
don't think we
So-
should mention anybody then, at
So
this
the
point.
process then would be for Linda to check with each one of them to see if they were still interested, and then to arrange for an appointment for an interview date.
Okay.
Does council have any idea when you want to interview these people?
I mean, I'll just say that I'm fine with a weekend or something like that if we have to arrange things that way. I think in terms of scheduling, it's okay if Linda just emails us when she has possible days that seem good for everyone, as long as, I think we need to post, I think technically 19 hours beforehand or something like that, but,
Next meeting.
yeah, as long as we post it in
And
time.
I think, the process that we did, the last time, or 2 times before, when we interviewed Steve and that group, it was at a council meeting in here. But previously, we've done it on a Saturday, so that it was a little bit more comfortable. And we just set up like the horseshoe and interviewed the person like we did with our potential appointees. And that worked out really pretty well. So we allotted a time for, at one time when we interviewed, we did it in the morning and in the afternoon, and I really felt that we did better to go straight through, because it seemed to me that some of the questions and answers were given to the afternoon candidates, because they were coming back with some of the same answers. And I don't know how that happened, but I know it did. So I would suggest that when we do it, we just go straight through.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'd have to take another look at the candidates that were the top 5. If they are out of state, I'd rather do like a conference call for an initial interview, not pay to fly them in or anything.
I believe
again,
at
I'm not
least
sure
one of
which-
them, at least one of them
One of
is.
them, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
3 of them are, okay.
I wasn't sure if we should address that now, just
Oh.
if council had feelings on it.
I think it's a good time to address it now.
Yeah.
I think it's a real good time to.
Yes, I agree.
But we have in the past, Randy, is that a possibility that we, on the inside table, if we set it up like a horseshoe, that we could have the telephone conversation piped into the center?
I'll have to check to see if I can get the conference phone working in the center.
Okay.
The problem with the conference phone is you get echoing
Right,
on their end, so they can't hear as well because you get all that background noise. We may have to do something maybe in the bigger conference room and do it that way, and then, allow whoever's here to sit in. But the HVA system will affect
okay.
how that sound comes through.
But we can assign that to you, and you can come up with a solution.
We'll figure something out.
You don't want to put a little chair just in the middle down there and all the questions.
Speak, put the phone on it.
We've done that before, and that is just,
Well, if you use, it's something called Uber Conference, that when I have many, meetings from people all over, you can use that, and you can just put a speaker on the laptop or something like that.
Conference phone itself.
Okay.
Multiple directional type speakers and microphones in it, so as you circle around it, you hear them talk. It's just the background noise, it picks that up.
Okay.
These phones are pretty sensitive, and it's just, we'll have to test it here to see, what we hear, because, you will hear fine. Because I can control the volume, what they hear on the other side.
Yeah, test that and then test what I just recommended, because, they can hear it very well, through that as well, so,
Yeah, we can call through our conference phone, that's not.
that too, okay.
all right. Let's move on to payroll and bills.
Oh, Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of,
Resetting the date,
Pardon?
the date for the
they're moving.
city manager.
Oh, we're not going to do that. They're going to, Linda's going to set a date.
Yeah.
We do need a motion on the 5 numbers.
Okay,
That would be good.
that would be good. All right, do we have a motion with the 5 final numbers of people to be called?
Sure, Madam Mayor, I'll motion to schedule city manager interviews with candidates numbers 3, number 5, number 20, number 23, and number 24, whenever Linda schedules them.
Support.
Move and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Owens?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
And I just recommend if anyone's out on a Saturday, then let Linda know if you're out of town or something, right? Yeah. That's awesome.
Rich, can I,
We did talk about that.
I just wanted to ask, if the one mark confidential says, no, I'm not interested anymore, is it appropriate that we say it only becomes public if they accept the interview?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
That's the, by law, I believe that's what it is. It's when they accept the interview, you have to publish.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, there is one other thing that we didn't put in on the schedule. We have a tentative schedule to tour the city on Friday, and it's going to be very cold, and a lot of snow between now and then. So we just kind of talked about it and suggested that maybe we postpone it for a little bit, because Sarah is on her little machine there, and it's gonna be very difficult for her to get in and out, and
I'm going to be out of state at that time too, an unexpected trip, so, we didn't, that's not something we motioned to ever schedule, so I think we just,
We could administratively cancel it, but.
Okay.
Like, are you looking more maybe like April, May?
April or
okay,
May, or
okay.
March or April, yeah, April or May.
Fine with me.
I just want to make sure that it's all right with everyone if we do that. Okay. All right, let's move on to payroll and bills. Have a motion?
Sure. Madam Mayor, I will motion to approve payment of the bills of the amount, in the amount of $1,650,036.15.
Support.
Who support it? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Owens?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Will that move to the second hearing of the public? Does anyone wish to be heard? Mr. Albert?
I just want to let you know that, what's the earliest people can file income tax this year? Does anybody know? Around the 20th?
I didn't think there was a early.
Anytime after the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once people start filing, that's when customers start flooding to Aaron's and Albert's to buy furniture. So I'm asking to expedite. I'm really happy with your idea for a temporary trial on those signs. That's very wise. I like it. I wanted a permanent, but I find you, when you get a group together, they usually make the right decision, you know, and I'm happy with that. But I would like to see it expedited really soon, because in another week or so, people will have money to spend. And freeing up 4 or 5 spaces, great idea. Let's try it and see. I really wish I knew where they got the idea to start after almost 30 years. Where did they get the idea to start parking behind my store? Where did that come from? The problem was never there until about a year ago. I'm confused with that. Thank you so much for your time. Please expedite it. Let's get it done.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, again, I'm willing to pay for it, Joe. I don't mind. Just to be short on money, no problem. I'll go to my savings and pay it. I mean that.
I understand that, and you've said that 3 or 4 times to us.
My wife repeats herself 10 times. Maybe I'm picking up her habits.
Does anyone else wish to be heard? Seeing none, the second hearing of the public is closed. Move to mayor and council reports. Let's start with you, Mr. DeMonico.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. And with MLK Day coming up, I just would hope everyone just learned something new about the civil rights movement, about Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that's all I had, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Owens?
Yes, I want to wish everybody a happy new year who all came here. Everybody that's looking at home. I want to tag what Mr. DeMonico said. Martin Luther King Day is coming up. It gives us a reason to open our minds and from the history of, civil rights movement until where we are today. So it's very important, as well as February coming up, which is Black History Month, which should be important not just for people that look like me, but everybody of every color, because it's very important for everybody to know about that. And enjoy your new year.
Thank you. This,
I
you.
have nothing this evening, Madam Mayor.
Well, same thing. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope 2018 turns out well.
I don't have anything except to say to everybody, stay warm. You can see that we're all pretty dressed for the cold weather that's behind us here, pounding on the back. I wish everybody a happy new year. And I guess Martin Luther King Day, there's multiple celebrations. Usually a great deal of our city membership goes to the Martin Luther King Day at McElroy's. That's a breakfast, and that's on the 15th. And I know there's another event in the evening, but I don't have the times or anything for that. And then on the 16th, PACE is having their annual awards luncheon. So that's the time when we give awards for people that are working hard to improve diversity within our city, as well as improving relationships with the police department. So that PACE luncheon is at 12 noon at the Halfway Schoolhouse on Tuesday the 16th, and everyone is welcome to that. And that's all I have for tonight. So I'll entertain a motion to go into attorney-client privilege communication.
Madam Mayor, I will.
Closed session for attorney-client privilege.
Yep, Madam Mayor, I will motion to go into closed session for pending litigation with the DOJ, as well as Taylor v. Eastpointe.
Support?
Move support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Mayor Pixley,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.